Imagine being trapped in utter darkness, deep underground, with no food, no water, and no way out. Now imagine you're just a child. This is the real-life nightmare that 12 boys and their young football coach faced in Thailand in 2018. What happened over the next 18 days became one of the most extraordinary rescue missions in modern history. A mission that brought together cave divers, soldiers, engineers, and medics from around the world. A mission that tested the limits of human courage and sacrifice. This is the story of the Thai Cave Rescue, the mission that saved 13 lives and changed countless others. On June 23, 2018, in the quiet town of Mae Sai in northern Thailand, a football team called the Wild Boars, 12 boys aged between 11 and 16, and their assistant coach, Ekapol Chanawang, entered the Tham Luang Nang Non cave system for a quick adventure after practice. They had explored it before. But this time the skies opened. Heavy monsoon rains began to flood the cave with terrifying speed. The boys were forced to flee deeper into the cave, into complete darkness. And then, they disappeared. The families panicked. The authorities were alerted. Thai Navy SEALs quickly arrived and launched a search. But it wasn't easy. The cave stretched over 10 kilometers, twisting through sharp rocks, narrow passages, and deep water-filled chambers. By day 3, the world began to watch, and soon elite cave divers from across the globe started arriving. John Valanthan and Richard Stanton, two veteran divers from the UK, were among the first foreign experts to enter the cave. They were joined by other British experts like Robert Harper and Chris Jewell, and later by Dr. Richard Harry Harris, an anesthetist and diver from Australia, whose role would prove critical. Meanwhile, more than 10,000 people were mobilized, rescue workers, military personnel, engineers, and volunteers from over 20 countries, including the United States, China, Japan, Laos, Australia, and the UK. On July 2nd, after 9 grueling days of search, a breakthrough came. Divers John Valanthan and Rick Stanton pushed through the flooded maze and reached Chamber 9, the farthest point deep inside the cave. And then, they saw them. All 13 trapped souls, huddled together on a raised rock ledge, weak but alive. The world held its breath. One diver asked, "How many of you?" A boy replied in broken English, 13. That one word spread across the world. Hope was alive. But finding them was only half the battle. The question now was how to get them out. The path back was fully submerged, winding, narrow, and filled with jagged rocks. Some passages were only 38 centimeters wide. None of the boys could swim. Any mistake could mean death. The team turned to Dr. Richard Harris, a cave diver and anesthetist from Adelaide, Australia. It was his job to do the unthinkable, sedate each boy with ketamine to keep them unconscious as divers swam them out, like packages through the treacherous cave system. Joining him was Craig Challen, a fellow Australian diver and vet. Their team, backed by elite Thai Navy SEALs and international volunteers, would attempt a medical rescue never done before. These were the heroes who risked everything. John Valanthan and Rick Stanton, UK cave divers who first found the boys. Dr. Richard Harris, Australia, lead anesthetist. Craig Challen, Australia, diver and rescue partner. Chris Jewell, Jason Mallinson, Connor Rowe, Jim Warney, all from the UK or Europe. Ben Reminence, Belgium. Mikko Pazzi, Finland. Derek Anderson, U.S. Air Force Pararescue, with help from U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, and of course the Thai Navy SEALs, led by Rear Admiral Apakorn Yukonko. These men risked their lives not for glory, not for money, but for humanity. But heroism comes with sacrifice. Saman Kunan, a 37-year-old former Thai Navy SEAL, volunteered to help. On July 6, while delivering oxygen tanks, he ran out of air and died in the darkness of the cave. He gave his life for children he'd never met. His death was mourned across Thailand and the world. Another diver, Petty Officer Beirut Pakbara, would later die from a blood infection contracted during the rescue. These were the silent warriors behind the headlines. On July 8, the operation began. Each day, a small team of divers would guide 1 or 2 sedated boys through the underwater maze. Their faces were covered with full face masks, their hands were tied, their bodies placed on stretchers. The divers had just one chance. If the boys woke up underwater, they would die. But against all odds, day 1, 4 boys rescued. Day 2. 4 more. Day 3, July 10. The final 5, including Coach Ekapol, were brought out safely. The impossible had been achieved. As the final boy emerged, cheers erupted. The world celebrated. In Thailand, the wild boars became symbols of strength. Coach Ekapol, once criticized, was praised for keeping the boys alive, sharing his food, teaching them to meditate, and keeping them calm in the darkness. The rescuers were honored with awards, medals, and eternal gratitude. Dr. Richard Harris and Craig Challen were named Joint Australians of the Year. British divers were knighted. Thai Navy SEALs received royal praise. Netflix, National Geographic, and Hollywood would all later tell the story. But no drama could match the real courage shown in those caves. This story wasn't just about survival. It was about unity. It was about strangers from across the world, from different countries and cultures, joining hands to save 13 young lives. In a world often divided by borders and beliefs, the Thai cave rescue reminded us of something bigger, the power of humanity when we come together. To the wild boars, to the families who never gave up, to the brave souls who risked and even gave their lives. This story is yours, and we will never forget it.